I run a lot of chat.
So you guys, welcome. This is Rachel Cassidy with the Division of Drinking Water. This is our monthly webinar. This is our webinar for November. Am I getting feedback? There we go.
There we go.
Sorry, a little bit of an echo. We just have 30 minutes, and unfortunately, you're stuck with me today instead of a guest speaker. So sorry about that, but it's the end of the year, and we wanted to walk you through Waterlink and some changes that we've made to Waterlink that I think are very important for everybody to know about. So before we talk about our changes to Waterlink, just a few reminders. Our training calendar, of course, is at drinkingwater.utah.gov. It's important now that it's the end of the year to make sure that you're getting all the training that you need as far as CEUs and for your employees as well. And of course, definitely now's a good time to do any of your end of year sampling. However, it's still November, so don't take your December coliform samples until it's officially December. Because if you take it on November 30th, I have to count it for November, so keep that in mind. If it's a monthly sample, we go by the date the sample is taken, so pay attention to that. But check your monitoring schedules, and I'll show you how to do that here in a minute online. Another note about these monthly webinars, and that is that you can watch them and get the CEUs for up to 6 months after the webinar airs. Once the webinar is older than 6 months old, you're no longer able to take the test and get the CEUs. However, you can still, watch the webinar and enjoy it at your leisure. But you can only get the CEUs when the webinar is 6 months old or younger. So keep that in mind. If you have CEU updates, they have to be emailed. We have a new CEU address that is ddwceus@utah.gov. And then, of course, the Rural Water Annual Conference in St. George is coming up. End of February, 1st of March. The registration starts in December, so you want to check that, and then also make sure you're getting your accommodations set up as well.
It's also end of a quarter too at the end of the year, so check your quarterly samples.
Yeah, it's the end of everything.
It's the end of everything.
I know. It's brutal. Okay, so we're going to talk about Waterlink. Waterlink is our website where we show you all of the information that we have databased for your water system, including the people, the facilities, times of operation, addresses, inspections, CEUs for certified operators. It's our portal for you guys. And there's a lot of things that the public can see. Any Joe Schmo can type in waterlink.utah.gov, and they have access to 5 main reports. And I'll show you these in a second, but they're the bacteria summary, the IPS report, your monitoring schedule, and then the whole system summary is just a conglomeration of those first reports. Oh, I didn't put inventory on there. Sorry, I forgot. One of the 5 main reports is called the inventory report, and that's actually the default report that when you type in a water system, you'll immediately see the water system's inventory report. The other things the public can see, they can see a CEU report, a CCR report, which is just the data table, and some other information to help water systems prepare their consumer confidence report. The public also has access to a local health department coliform report, a couple of backflow reports, some engineering project information reports. The main report can be exported into Excel from the public page. I'll show you that in a minute. That makes no sense to you now. It's okay. Just hang with me. Chemical reports, it's where you also can do a level 1 assessment, and you can access, or anybody in the public can access, the Lead in Schools report. So now that I just totally confused you, let me actually show you what I'm talking about. So this is what the public can see once they type in waterlink.utah.gov. This DEQ water automatically adds on. You don't have to type that in. Nobody has to type that in. And you can see I'm not logged in at all as anybody. So I'm just some regular person. So I can type in a place where I live. Let's say I live in North Logan. Let's go in North Logan. You type in the name of the water system, or if you know your water system's number, you can type in the water system number and it'll pop up. It says no matches found because I've already got a water system selected. You can also type in the county. So I typed in Summit County, and I can scroll through all the water systems in Summit County. So there's the number, the name, or the water system county are ways that you can enter a water system, and you need to at least enter 3 or more characters. Once you've done that, it defaults to this inventory report, which is one of the 5 main reports. And some important things to notice, all of these 5 main reports have a header. This is what we call the header. It's a ribbon across the top, and then this main information that I just highlighted in blue. The name of the water system identification number, if the water system is approved, and the date it was approved, and then the status of the water system. So you can have a couple of, 3 different types of statuses. Status I. It can be active, inactive, or proposed. So of course, North Logan is active, thank goodness, because there's a lot of people there. And then we have contacts. So in case I put you to sleep already, you got to wake up for this part. This is important. Administrative contact is what we refer to as the person. So this is the name of the person that you want the Division of Drinking Water to send all of our correspondence to. So administrative contact is a person. Keep that in mind. So this is the administrative contact person we have for North Logan, but then all of, and the email and office number information for that person. The site information, we call this the legal contact. So this should be a different contact. It should be like the town hall, the city building, the public works building where your operations are located at. This is the address that we want and the phone number that we want here. For the email address, just let us know what email address you want us to use and we'll make sure we get it in the right place. But this email address that's showing here is for the
should be legal contact.
Yeah. So legal contact is address, email, phone number, county, and then administrative contact is an actual human being. Hopefully they're alive, where we get the name and the office number. Okay, site updates. This is also really important to pay attention to. Last inventory update. This means the last time that somebody in the Division of Drinking Water changed the inventory for this water system in our main database. So that's a good date to pay attention to. So North Logan City, their water system had an update to it in our main database back in April, and nothing since then. The last day of the sanitary survey is this date right here, the last surveyor update. So this is the date of the last sanitary survey. And keep in mind, sanitary surveys are every 3 years. So you should look at this date and you can then extrapolate into the future and see kind of the next year that your water system is scheduled to have the sanitary survey inspection. This is the person that did that sanitary survey inspection. This is the operating period of the water system. We are not, just the way our main database works, we cannot use anything other than the first of the month. So if your water system opens May 15th, in this operating period right here, it should say, for our purposes, it should say May 1st. We can make in a comment section a note that it doesn't open until the 15th of that month, but it's important for operators to understand it may not always be exactly correct, because in order for our database to work correctly, it has to be the first of the month. So sorry about that, but there you go. Make sure that's right. And then the last IPS update, this is the date your IPS report was last updated. This should be today's date for every water system, because the IPS report updates for all water systems twice a day. And then consumptive use zones, this is the irrigation zone and the date that irrigation zone was updated. So this header is on all 5 of the main reports, and it's something that you want to make sure we have correct. And then I'm going to show you in a minute how to change, because I'm sure you're wondering, okay, well, this is wrong or that information is wrong. How do I get that updated? I'll show you. We have a new way to do that here in a second. So inventory report, it shows service connections. I'm going to hide all details because we don't want to go through all the gory details of all of this. Oh, is that not working? I guess it's not. Anyway, for the inventory report, you can see service connections, treatment, storage, pump stations, sources, group source sampling stations, if the system has any distribution system information, and then site visit history. So if your water systems had a level 2 assessment, it would show up in this site history. So inventory is pretty basic. And if you want to make this report smaller and you just want to look at service connections and distribution system, you can change the report and create a more customized version by clicking on, or if you right click in this, well, if you just click in the box, you can add on more information that you want to include in this report, and then you can generate a PDF and email it to somebody. So this is an inventory report. Monitoring schedule is water monitoring. Click on water monitoring. If you have a large water system, you can hide all details and it will collapse the monitoring requirements by facility, so it's not so cumbersome. Monitoring requirements, very simple. Everything for the distribution system is first. So for North Logan, bacteriological monitoring and DBP monitoring is first, along with lead, copper, and asbestos. So anything that is required to be sampled within the distribution system will show up first on the monitoring schedule. Let's say you don't want to look at the DBP section, you just click the X and get rid of it, but you can always bring it back by clicking up in this create a custom report box if you wanted to. So then you get down to the monitoring requirements by facility. Let's say we just wanted to look at their source 2 and view the details of the source requirements, the chemical requirements of that source. You can see the name of the chemicals required, the number, the routine samples, the frequency, and then the date of the last sample. This is important, this next sample due date column. We put at the end so it's easy to see. So what you can do is just scan down this year, and you can see that North Logan, good job North Logan, has done everything they have to do for the end of 2017. So if I work for North Logan, I scan down here and I can see that this source has been taken care of for 2017, and I can worry about it next year. So this is your monitoring schedule. Open compliance schedules. If your system has not turned in your revised total coliform sampling site plan, that requirement would show up here in compliance schedules, but North Logan has turned theirs in and we have a record of it. And Colt, what is the status of those reviews of those plans?
So Pete Kears took over John Okeson's position, and he has been working diligently to get through that stack, but he didn't start until after the submission deadline. So we're just a little bit backlogged. I think he's through all of the ones that were easy, and now he is working to send out the letters confirming the ones that were good, and then he's following up with ones that he had questions or there were concerns with. And so I think we are fairly up to date. I don't know that all the data entry's been done, but we're pretty current on them. But if they're not, and you have questions and you still see that there, contact Pete Kears in our office, and he can let you know what's going on with yours individually.
So if you're wondering, has the division received my RTCR sampling site plan? If we have not made record of it yet, it would show up here in open compliance schedules. But keep in mind, we're still behind. So the requirement may show up here even though it's possible we have it. So work in progress. Okay, so that's your water monitoring IPS report. Just click on IPS. And you can scroll down. I'm not going to scroll down because I'm not going to try to show off North Logan's gory information, although you can pull it up easily for any water system. But this is where you would go and look through all of these chemical rule violation points, microbial rule violation points. All of these different types of points would show up on the IPS report. And it's pretty easy to see and scroll through and understand. And then the last one is this bacterial summary report. This is really important, and this is unbelievably helpful. And it's it doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here because it's very helpful for you. So you've got your system selected. It automatically defaults to the last 12 months. You can change this. You can say, I want to see my coliform history for the past 4 years. Whoops, I can't do math. Okay. And then you click go. So you can change your dates, and then it populates all of the dates that we're looking for. I don't really want to see that much information for this demo, so I'm going to go back to a year. This is how you read this report. So any sample that's been marked routine will show up in number of samples. So for October 2016, North Logan City took 9 samples. If any of them had been positive for total coliform, it would also show up here. If this sample that was positive for total coliform was positive for E. coli, it would also show up here, and it would be in red as well. Like they had a positive total coliform this past summer, so it shows up in red. And then any repeat samples that are taken show up in the repeat column. Again, if any of these repeats had been positive, they would have shown up in these columns as well, but they weren't. And then triggered samples, which triggered samples are those coliform samples you were required to take at any active groundwater source during while you're taking your repeat samples in the distribution system after a total coliform positive. So triggered sampling, your results show up here. Anything else shows up in other. Anything else being, we're trying to get the LT2 samples. If you're taking LT2 samples, you know what those are. Hopefully those will show up here. Any investigative samples or special samples should show up in other sampling. We do not run compliance on any samples that show up in other. So this is what you want to do. This is how you want to use this report. On December, or now that it's the end of November, you will be able to see if we have your data for that month in this box right here. So we run compliance for total coliform on the 10th of every month. So I would say on the 5th of every month, if I work for a water system, I'm going to pull up this report and make sure that my number of required coliform samples shows up in this column in this box right here, because then I know for sure I'm not going to get a violation for failure to sample. And if I want to make sure that the division has my repeat samples, I check this report and I check in the repeat sample column. Same with triggered samples as well. So use this report to, what it allows you to do is it allows you to not have to talk to the Division of Drinking Water or your laboratory, because you can just pull up this report and say, okay, the division's got my 9 samples for October. It's November 5th, I'm good. Or if you check this report on December 5th and there's still a 0 here, but there should be the number that you've taken, then you know you need to call somebody, you need to do something to make sure the data is going to get here in time. So this is a really important report. And then, so we've gone through those 4 main ones, and this system summary report is all of the reports mashed into one. So here's inventory. We saw the bacteria summary. Here's IPS. Here's their sampling, all the sampling. It goes on for forever because it's all of them mashed together. Public facing page. So again, this is anything that the public can get into, and we don't have time to get into this, but you can browse through, and these are all of the reports that anyone for the public can access. So that's the public version of Waterlink. Now we do have this new portal. So this is what the public can see, but now we have the chance for you to get a special portal account. And what this account will allow you to do is update your system's population, activate or deactivate a source, change your phone number, address, contact information, contact person, email address. And it's going to be so that you don't have to call the division and say, hey, division, I'm shutting down well number 10 for maintenance. Can you please deactivate it and take away all the sampling requirements? Instead, you can use this new portal account and just update us through the portal. It's also got a place, if your agency provides CEU training for water operators, you can upload the CEU list to the division through this CEU course accreditation in the portal. So let me show you what this actually looks like. So I'm not logged in, but I want access to the portal. So I go to portal access instructions, and it says, click here to create a utah.gov account. So you click here and it walks you through, like 5 minutes later, it walks you through how to create this account. So you put in this information, your email, your password, and you click create account. After you've created the account, then you can log in here. So I've created a fake account for Dave Gahn, the lead singer for Depeche Mode, but you guys knew that already, hopefully. So this is what it looks like. You click on it and it says create a Waterlink portal account. So you put a name to it. So I would put in the account name your water system. So if I work for the town of North Logan, I would call this account name North Logan City. If you're an agency that wants to upload CEUs through the CEU portal, still reference, somehow the water system. And then inside account description or justification, give us a little bit more information. We're going to use this to communicate with the division to change source activation or population or contact information. And then you can select your water system, which water system the account will be associated with. Side note, this isn't working this morning, but it hopefully will be working a little bit later today. But it's okay, it's not a required field. The only required fields are account description and account name. And then you can also put your institution if you work for a place of business that we have record of. And then you click create new portal account. And once you click create new portal account, you're going to get account request confirmed. And what it says is just that we've received your request for this account, and you'll receive an email once you're confirmed. So this is the email address I used, and then I got approved by me as Dave Gahn. So let's log in as Dave Gahn. So what can Dave see? Dave's got this sweet new portal account and he wants to change information for his system. So he goes to and clicks on portal, and this is what you can see. You can update your CEU for the course that you just hosted here. And hopefully I'll have time to walk through that in a minute. The sanitary survey reports, which are basically skeleton reports right now. We haven't built them out, so there's really nothing there for your enjoyment, unfortunately, but we'll get there. But this is water system update request. This is where you can go to change your population, change your contact information. So let's see if I can, we don't have our guest account. Okay, I'm gonna do this for North Logan, but is North Logan not in there? Okay, well, this part's not working, but let's just pretend it is. Again, technical difficulties. I'm gonna scroll through and see for a minute. Oh, it's not taking the system number with the Utah in front of it.
It never does that.
It never? Okay,
nope.
Never mind, I'm awake. Okay, so I'm gonna type in my system. I'm gonna say I want a new update request. So it gives me this form where I can walk through and edit administrative contact information, sampling reminder contact. We do have a place where we can database the name of the person and their contact information who you want us to bug when we send out sampling reminders. We do that a lot for like nitrate samples, and we hope to be a little bit better about getting reminders out at the end of the year for chemical samples, but we'll get there. But whoever you want us to bug to remind about samples that are due. And then legal contact information. This is the information for. Why is this not showing up? Is this showing up on the YouTube? Can you see that? Okay.
I am lagging really bad on
I
YouTube.
know, you guys, there's kind of a lag.
It's really slow today. Something's going on with our network because
okay. Sorry, you guys.
I can't actually have live. I'm so back on bacteriological
I know, I'm looking
sampling.
at my window and I'm like, you guys are looking at something that was like 5 minutes ago. Sorry about that. I don't know how to fix that. So I'll just keep going. Hopefully this will work. But this is where you would update your sampling reminder person, your legal contact person, and your population is here under legal contact information. So how you do it is you click on edit, and you put in the new person's name. You want Joe Smith to be the new person, J Smith at something.gov, and new PO box something. And you can keep things that are the same, and then you click save. I'm not going to save that because that's not right. But you click save and it would update. It would show that you've made an update here. And let's say you want to update the population. So you click edit legal contact and water system population, and you change it to the new population, and you click save. I'm not going to actually save it because that would be a lie. Anyway, because I'm in production. You save it, and then this facility tab is where you go to change a source or storage tank or whatever facility we have database for your water system from active to inactive or back and forth. So let's say North Logan wanted to change this spring that was abandoned from inactive to active. So you go in your portal account and you click edit, and you just click active and you click save. I'm actually going to save it so you can see at the bottom. So we've made a request, but our request won't process until we submit for process at the bottom of the page. So we've made a bunch of changes, and you can see I've made this change, but let's say I changed my mind. You can undo before you submit for processing. I'm going to actually do change this population so you can see. Okay. Okay, so I've changed the email and the water system population. If the email stayed the same, just enter the same email again. And again, you can click undo changes. But once you've made the changes that you want, you submit for processing. And then once it's actually processed, you'll get an email that it's been approved. And then you should be able to go to your water system and view in the inventory page that those updates have been made. They've been made to like the header, they've been made to the facilities. Once you notify us to deactivate a source, within 24 hours, all of the sampling requirements for that source actually go away. So it's kind of helpful. I'm still looking at the window that you guys are looking at, and it's, oh, there it is. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry about this lag.
The audio's matching up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're seeing it faster than they are.
Oh, I see. All right.
It's just normally we have a 15-second lag, and today it's like a 3-minute.
Billion-second lag.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's right after the holiday. Everybody's slow.
Including the network.
Including the network. Yeah. So what I really wanted you to see is get a handle on reading this main header. This header is so important to make sure that we have all of this current. Population is key. People to contact, addresses, names. It's important for you to be able to read all of these main reports, play with them, and then use this bacteria summary on the 5th of every month. Mark your calendar, check this box at the bottom, make sure that for the previous month, on December 5th, all you water system operators, I want you to log in. Well, you don't have to log in, just go to waterlink.utah.gov and look at this box for November and make sure we've got your routine samples so that you can avoid a violation. And maybe your lab isn't going to send them until the 9th of the month, then check it on the 9th or the 10th. But you want to make sure that by close of business on the 10th of the month, we have the number of correct routine samples right here in this box. So, and then I want you to use the portal for updates. So instead of emailing DDW reports at utah.gov and saying, hey, we've had a change in personnel. The new person is George Smith instead of Fred Smith, then you just put in your request. You pick your water system and you say, I want a new update request, and you go through and you can edit and save. And then once you've done all of your edits, you can undo them as you go through that. And then at the very bottom, whoa, Salt Lake City, big system. Then there'll be a button to submit your update request. And then again, you'll get an email at the email address you've used for this portal account that your updates have been made. So This portal is the new thing that we wanted to give you some training on and show you that went live. It went live on Monday of last week. So with the holiday, not very many people have had a chance to dive into it. Hopefully we'll see a lot more requests for this portal account. If you have any questions on it, you can always email me at rcassidy, C-A-S-S-A-D-Y at utah.gov. So let's go back to the old PowerPoint. Where's my PowerPoint? There it is. Okay. So this is the end of our webinar, you guys. That went by really fast. Here's my email address, rcassidy@utah.gov. If you have questions, it's easier to get a hold of me over email than phone. So you can get your CEUs for listening to this webinar. It's the link in the comment section below. It'll show up. And you can also share this webinar if you want to send it to some of your operators or people that you know that need this information. You'll be able to send them the link. It will be posted on our website, which is drinkingwater.utah.gov. So our next webinar, we're not going to do a webinar in December. We're going to take the month off, but we'll start back in January 29th. We've got a guest speaker from the University of Utah. She's going to be coming to talk about some new treatment research that she's doing on nanotubes. Nanotubes. All right, you guys. It's going to be a lot better than me, that's for sure.
She's pretty interesting. She's done a lot of work like in Pakistan and the developing world on water treatment, and then bringing it back here and new ways to treat for inorganics and all kinds of stuff.
You guys should be so glad we have colds, because I would not be that close to interesting. So that's going to be awesome.
Nothing says interesting like a new emerging treatment technology.
Exactly. Nanotubes is a lot more exciting than Waterlink 101.
It's a funny little world we work in.
Yes. All right. So get your CEUs, and we will send out an email reminder again before the January webinar. And we hope you have a safe winter, safe holiday. Anything else? Cool.
We will post the link to the CEUs in the description of the webinar underneath. And you'll have to click the see more to come see it. And it should link you directly to the CEU form. We are probably by the next one, we'll have a page set up so that you can view these through our website and directly link to all of them, and they'll all be housed in one location. So you can burn through and gather up CEUs by the end of the year. We just started that this week to try and consolidate that and make it easier for you to find that form. And then if you guys have suggestions of topics you'd like to hear on, please let us know, and we will make it happen, because we are constantly searching for stuff that you want to hear about.
Yeah, and we'd also like to schedule a few webinars with actual water operators. So if you have something that's happened with your system, some information you'd like to share, this is a great platform to do that on. So shoot me an email and let me know.
Interesting problems you've had, anything. We love problem webinars that you've solved. Those are the most.
Yeah, come and brag to others through us. It's helpful. So you guys, thank you. Have a great winter. Be safe. Stay alive. And we'll see you in January.
Great.